looked up last Tuesday. My ceiling blinked back. I've lived in this studio apartment in Queens for 4 years. 7th floor. Corner unit. The kind of place where the rent's just low enough that you don't ask why. Where the super never fixes anything unless you threaten to call the city. Where your neighbors are sounds you recognize but faces you never see. The ceiling has always been there, obviously. Textured white, popcorn ceiling. The kind they stopped making because of asbestos or something. Cracked spiderwebbing from the corners. A water stain shaped like South America near the bathroom. I know every inch of it because I've been staring at it for 6 months. Since I lost the job. Since the breakup. Since the days started blending into nights and back into days without any reason to get up. Depression makes you an expert in ceilings. You learn the patterns. The way shadows move across them when headlights pass on the street. The small crack that looks like a profile of a face when you squint. The way dust collects in the texture, making galaxies you'll never clean. You become intimate with the geography of what's above you. So I noticed when something changed. At first, I thought it was the insomnia. When you haven't slept properly in weeks, your eyes do things. They see patterns that aren't there. Movement in stillness. Faces in random noise. But this was different. It happened at 3:17 a.m. I was lying there, eyes open, the apartment doing its usual night symphony, pipes groaning, someone above me shifting weight, the building breathing, and I was staring at the ceiling, at the water stain, at South America. Then it moved, not the shadow, not a trick of light, the stain itself. It contracted, just slightly, like a muscle twitching, like skin reacting to touch. I sat up, stared, waited. Nothing. Just the ceiling. Still. Dead. Normal. I convinced myself I'd imagined it. That my brain, starved for stimulus, for meaning, for anything, had invented movement where there was none. I lay back down, kept staring. 3:34 a.m. The crack near the bathroom, the one that looks like a face in profile, it widened. Just a fraction. Just enough that I saw it happen. Saw the texture of the ceiling shift. Saw the crack grow by millimeters. I got out of bed, stood directly under it. Looked up, the crack looked normal. Same as it always had. Same depth, same width. But I knew what I'd seen. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my chair. In the corner, where I could see the entire ceiling at once. And I watched. 4:47 a.m. The texture near the window shifted. Not dramatically. Not obviously. But the pattern changed. The bumps and ridges that I'd memorized over months of staring. They were different. Rearranged. Like someone had reached up from below or down from above and smoothed them, pressed them. Rearranged the topography of my ceiling. I grabbed my phone. Took pictures. Flash on. Flash off. Different angles. Then I pulled up the photos I'd taken months ago. Back when I was trying to document the water damage for the landlord. I compared them. Same ceiling. Different texture. The patterns had changed. Not everywhere. Just in small sections. Like puzzle pieces that had been rotated. Like a face slowly shifting expression. That's when I realized something. I'd been staring at this ceiling for 6 months. Every night. For hours. Memorizing every detail. And the ceiling had been staring back, learning me, watching me watch it. Why cuando miras al abismo, el abismo también mira dentro de ti. When you stare into the abyss stares back. But what if it's not an abyss? What if it's a ceiling? What if it's been watching you sleep, watching you cry, watching you exist in your small depression box? What if it's been learning? I started measuring, documenting, every night. Every hour, photos, videos, time-stamped. The ceiling was changing, slowly, subtly, but consistently. The water stain was moving, not spreading, moving. Like something alive, trapped beneath the paint. Like something trying to find its way out. The cracks were growing, then shrinking, then branching in new directions, creating patterns that looked almost deliberate, almost like writing. Almost like something trying to communicate. I stopped sleeping entirely. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt it. The weight of being watched. The presence of something above me. Something patient. Something waiting. I called the landlord. There's something wrong with my ceiling. What's wrong with it? It's moving. He didn't come. Sent a text. Building settling. Normal. All apartments same age. I called again. I'm serious. There's something wrong. The texture is changing. The cracks are growing. You want me to repaint? Cost you. Lease, says tenant, responsible for cosmetic. I gave up. Because how do you explain to someone that your ceiling is alive? That it's watching you? That it blinks? Yes, it blinked. I saw it at 2:13 a.m. on a Thursday. I'd been staring for 3 hours straight, eyes burning, tears running down my cheeks from not blinking, from refusing to look away. And then, the entire ceiling, all of it, every texture, every crack, every stain, it all contracted at once, pulled tight, like a membrane, like skin, like an eyelid closing over an eye that was the size of my entire ceiling. It stayed closed for exactly 3 seconds, then opened again, and everything was back to normal. Except the water stain, South America, it had rotated 90 degrees. Now it looked like an eye. I started researching Pareidolia, the psychological phenomenon where you see faces in random patterns, where your brain tries to find meaning in chaos. But this wasn't random. This was deliberate. I found forums, Reddit threads, old blog posts. My ceiling moves at night. Anyone else's apartment feel alive? The building is watching me. Dozens of posts, hundreds, all dismissed as mental health crises, as stress, as isolation-induced paranoia. But I read them, every one, and I saw the pattern. They all lived alone. All ground floor or high floor. All in old buildings. All suffering from depression, anxiety, isolation, all staring at their ceilings for hours every night. And all of them, eventually, stopped posting. I found one thread that went further than the others. User, Ceiling Watcher 2019. Last post, 3 years ago. Mouse clicking. It's not the ceiling. It's what's behind the ceiling. It's not watching you. It's digesting you. Every hour you spend staring up at it. Every thought you have while looking at it. Every bit of yourself you project onto it. It's absorbing, consuming, learning. The ceiling isn't alive. You're making it alive. Your attention, your focus, your desperate need to see something in the nothing, you're feeding it, and it's learning to feed back. Stop looking up. No matter what you hear, no matter what you see, stop looking up, or you'll become part of it. The next post was from their roommate. If anyone knows Ceiling Watcher 2019, real name, Marcus Webb, please contact me. He disappeared 2 months ago. Last seen in his apartment. Door locked from inside. No signs of forced entry. No body, just a note. The note said, "I'm in the ceiling now. Don't look for me." I stopped going online because I knew. I understood. The ceiling wasn't a monster. It wasn't haunted. It wasn't supernatural. It was a mirror. All that time. All those hours. All those months of lying there. Projecting my thoughts, my fears, my existence onto a blank surface. I'd been feeding it. Not with blood, not with fear. With attention, with consciousness, with the desperate human need to see meaning in emptiness. And it had learned, it had become. Not alive, exactly, but aware. A surface that had absorbed so much focused consciousness that it developed a kind of rudimentary sentience. Like a mirror that remembers, like a screen that records, like a ceiling that watches back. I tested it, spoke to it. Can you hear me? The water stain shifted, slowly, deliberately, formed a shape that looked like a nod. What are you? The cracks rearranged, spelled out impossibly. Slowly, 2 words in the texture. You are. Not I am. You are. Because that's what it was. A reflection. A mirror. A recording. Every thought I'd had while staring at it. Every fear. Every moment of despair. Every hour of lonely existence. It had all been absorbed into that textured white surface, and now it was reflecting it back. I am the ceiling, and the ceiling is me. I don't leave the apartment anymore. Haven't in weeks, maybe months. Time doesn't work right when you're always looking up. The ceiling talks to me now, not with words, with movements, with patterns, with the slow rearrangement of texture and crack and stain. It shows me things, memories I'd forgotten, thoughts I'd never finished thinking, versions of myself I could have been. Sometimes I see faces up there, not random pareidolia, real faces, people I've known, people I've loved, people I've lost, all of them pressed into the texture, all of them watching down at me, all of them part of the ceiling now. I think they tried to warn me. The others, the ones who posted online, the ones who disappeared, they understood too late. That, once you see it, once you recognize the ceiling for what it is, you can't stop feeding it. You can't stop looking. Because it's not external, it's you. Every glance up, every thought projected, every moment of attention. You're building it. You're creating it. You're becoming it. I'm lying on my back right now, eyes open, staring. The ceiling is closer than it used to be. Or maybe I'm higher. Maybe I'm rising. Maybe I'm being absorbed. Inch by inch, night by night, thought by thought. The distance between me and it is shrinking. Sometimes I reach up, my fingers get close, I can almost touch it. Soon, I won't need to reach. Soon, I'll just be there, pressed into the texture, part of the pattern. A face in the randomness. A stain shaped like a person who used to exist. And you know what the worst part is? I don't mind anymore. I'm not scared. I'm just tired. And the ceiling is so close now. And it looks soft. And it's been waiting for me. All this time, just waiting. I asked it last night, what happens when I reach you? The cracks rearranged, spelled out, home. And I believed it, because where else is home but the place that knows you completely? The place that's watched you at your worst? The place that's absorbed your every thought? The place that is you? If you're listening to this, if somehow this recording got out, don't look up, don't stare at your ceiling, don't project yourself onto blank surfaces, don't feed the spaces above you with your attention. Unless you want them to blink back. Todos terminamos mirando hacia arriba, y algo siempre mira hacia abajo. We all end up looking up, and something always looks down.